We're at Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati, where tonight it's the New York Yankees against the Cincinnati Reds. Hello, everybody. We're excited about this matchup tonight. The New York Yankees have the best record in baseball. And the other surprise, the Cincinnati Reds just a half game out in the National League Central. It should be a good matchup. Two teams that not many people expected this much from, at least this early. Now, who am I doing the game with? We tried to decide who's looked at life from both sides now. And this is the guy. Paul O'Neill spent 8 seasons with the Cincinnati Reds and 9 seasons with the New York Yankees. You see his numbers: 1 championship with the Reds and 4 with the New York Yankees. So he's seen it, as we said, from both sides. And Paul, this is an exciting Yankee team that we're looking at right now. I think it's surprised everybody. There's been some injuries, and they've overcome the injuries. And one of the reasons they've been able to overcome it is a guy named Aaron Judge.
Well, Aaron Judge is a fun guy to watch play baseball. 6'7", 282 pounds. I mean to tell you, every highlight you'll see, they go a long way. He's a prolific home run hitter, 450, 460 feet. He leads the American League in home run, tied in all of baseball in home runs. He's way ahead of schedule. He's done some things rookies have never done in the game of baseball.
And he's shown some patience as well at the plate. Pretty good stuff for him. 317 average. Paul mentioned the 13 home runs. He's first in slugging percentage in the American League, tied for first in RBIs, and he's first in runs scored. An absolutely outstanding rookie year for Aaron Judge. Now, Joey Votto is no rookie, but he's the face of this Reds team, and the bottom line is this team can hit.
No, there's no doubt about it. Joey Votto does have some help offensively. The Reds are swinging the bat, but Joey Votto, he's an ex-MVP. He won the MVP in 2010. He is the Reds' face, and he knows how to hit. He stays in the strike zone. Another home run last night. He's had a phenomenal homestand. Joey Votto in the middle of this lineup is as good as it gets.
You know, it's a pretty good lineup because they have some power. They are home run happy indeed. They're the only major league team with 3 players with 9 or more home runs. Votto has 10, Scott Schebler has 9, and Adam Duvall has 9. And the Reds have taken the field here at Great American Ballpark, and you see Tim Adelman about to take his warm-up. So let's take a look at the Yankees starting lineup that he is going to face. And the Yankees are 21-9 coming into this game. They'll lead off their left fielder, Brett Gardner. The catcher, Gary Sanchez, will bat second, and Starlin Castro, the second baseman, will hit third. Then you've got the cleanup hitter, Jacoby Ellsbury in center field. Aaron Judge, who we spoke about, will be in right field. Batting fifth, batting sixth is the shortstop, Didi Gregorius. Chris Carter, the first baseman, bats seventh. Batting eighth and playing third base today, Ronald Torreyes. And CC Sabathia will bat ninth, and he will pitch for the Yankees. So Adelman gets the start for the Cincinnati Reds, and he comes in with a 1-1 record, a 4.22 ERA. You can see he's pitched in 4 games. This is his 3rd start, 21 1/3 innings, just 4 walks, 20 strikeouts, 5 home runs. An opponent's hitting .244 against him. He's got 3 pitches: fastball, curveball, change, mixes them well. His fastball plays a little bit higher than you'll see the velocity because of the fact that he does change speeds. Let's take a look at the Reds defensively. The Reds have a pretty good defensive team. You've got Duvall in left. You've got speedy Billy Hamilton in center. And Schebler is over in right. Suarez, Kozar, Peraza, and Votto third to first in the infield. Mesoraco behind the plate. And Adelman is on the mound. It's time now to take a look at the keys to the game, and they are sponsored by the Lincoln Motor Company. Paul, tell me how this game's going to go.
Well, I tell you what, the Yankees offense is rolling. There's no doubt about it. Just under 6 runs per game, 10 runs last night, so they had no signs of fatigue from the 18-inning marathon they played Sunday in Wrigley. Reds are slugging too. The Reds right behind the Yankees with 5.2 runs a game, which is 3rd in Major League Baseball. And if it's a bullpen battle, it could be a good one. The Yanks 4th in the MLB, and the Reds are 3rd in the National League. So it's up to the starters to get to the bullpen here, Michael.
Well, the Yankees have a 6-game winning streak. They beat the Reds last night, and that snapped the Reds' 5-game winning streak. So both teams are playing well coming into this one. Brett Gardner has been on fire with an 11-game hitting streak. He's ready. Adelman is ready. And let's do it here in Cincinnati. The first pitch is a strike, and we are underway. Home plate umpires Lance Barksdale, John Tumpane at first, the crew chief Ted Barrett at second, Angel Hernandez is the third base ump. Yankees swept 3 from the Cubs at Wrigley Field, and the first one of this interleague series against the Reds yesterday. Pitch upstairs.
You remember Brett Gardner in Chicago, big home run in that opening game, big 3-run homer down to their last strike of the last out, big 3-run homer, and that really set the tone for that whole series.
Here's the 1-1, and there's a strike. So the count 1-2. So the Yankees 21-9, then the Reds are 17-15. An abbreviated windup for Adelman. A lot of pitchers are doing that. That one's popped up on the left side. Suarez in foul territory will make the play for the first out. So 1 down, and that'll bring up Gary Sanchez. Sanchez on this road trip is 6 for 12. The road trip so far has been 4 games, as we mentioned. The Yankees have won all 4. Both teams have an off day tomorrow, and then the Reds will play 4 games in San Francisco. The Yankees go back to Yankee Stadium, and they will play 4 games against the Houston Astros. Foul back.
You see Gary Sanchez, and you mentioned it, Michael. He just coming back, 6 for 12 since he's been back from Scranton Wilkes-Barre on a little rehab, but getting closer. Much better swings last night, but 6 for 12. What a way to get back. You remember what he did last year in a short period of time.
The 0-1. Now, how about this? In his last 13 plate appearances, he's reached base safely 11 times, 6 hits, 4 walks, and he was hit by a pitch once. 1-1. It's low, 2-1. Sanchez batting second in this lineup today. They've moved him around. They like him at second, gets more at bats that way. The 2-1. Buzzed him inside, 3-1.
Last night the Yankees had 3 men hit in 1 inning. Gary Sanchez being one. Chase Headley got hit right on the side of the knee. Probably a big reason why he's out of the lineup tonight.
3-1. Foul back to the screen, 3-2. Headley went to bed last night not thinking he would feel very well today. He said he was surprised he felt so good. And he said he's available if they need him late in the game, but they are giving him a rest just to calm down where the pitch hit him.
That's what happens when you come from Chicago, Michael. The night before you get in at 6. You're so tired you don't even feel anything.
That's right. 3-2.
Oh.
That one's drilled deep to left field. There it goes. See ya. A home run for Gary Sanchez. And the Yankees are on the board.
I was going to say it's not hit his first home run, but boy, his swings, and we were talking, are just getting better and better and better. Gary Sanchez so quick and so powerful. I'll tell you what, Mom made that little guy happy early in the game. It's always a big relief to get that first one out of the way. Gary Sanchez, unbelievable numbers last year in the time that he was here in the second half.
That is his first home run since coming off the DL, his second overall, and he's been lining the ball, as Paul said, getting closer, but this time he launched this.
Two-seam fastball just kind of tails back right to the barrel. No doubt about it. You see right off the bat, know where that's heading.
Pitch outside to Castro.
Wow. How's that sound, Michael?
Like a home run. 448 feet. High pop-up. Shallow right center. Schebler's there. He'll make the play for the second out. You know, when you look at what the Yankees have done, getting off to this start, the best record in baseball, they've done it essentially without Sanchez. Greg Bird, who they penciled in to do big things at first base, had a rough first month, now on the DL with a bruised bone in his right ankle, and they've been able to fill the spots. They've been able to get the job done. Didi Gregorius started the season on the DL, but people have picked it up.
You know, it's amazing. You know, Didi comes back from the DL, swings the bat well. Sanchez comes back from the DL, swings the bat well. It's almost like when you're put into this situation where the offense is going well, you get back in the lineup, you want to be part of it. And these guys have stepped right back in it.
The 1-0. Low 2-0.
You see Aaron Judge on deck, and if you're a fan, you're looking at Ellsbury fourth, Judge fifth. It's more of a balance thing. Joe Girardi just wants to balance out his righties and his lefties. No rhyme or reason, really. The order doesn't matter. He can pick them out of a hat now. It seems like they're throwing 10 up a night.
So count 3-0 on Ellsbury. Gotten off to a nice start. He's batted cleanup a lot this year. 290, 4 homers, 11 ribbies. The 3-0. There's a strike. It was raining for most of the day here in Cincinnati. It stopped early afternoon. They're hoping to get this game in. Right now, no rain whatsoever. The 3-1. Fly ball left field. Duvall is there, and he'll put it away for the final out of the inning. But the Yankees get a run, and they get it off the bat of Gary Sanchez. The Yankee catcher just crushes it. Almost 450 feet. Yankees won. Reds coming to bat. One 1-0 lead for CC Sabathia. And the first batter that Sabathia will face is Billy Hamilton. Obviously, you want to keep him off the base paths. He has 19 stolen bases. And that pitch is high and off the glove of Sanchez. 1-0. Yankees playing for the bunt. Carter's in at first, and Torreyes is in at third. These are the numbers on Sabathia. 6 starts, 2-1, 5.45, 33 innings, 15 walks, 25 strikeouts. He's allowed 6 homers. Chopped to short. DD charges. And over to first. 1 away. Let's take a look at the entire Reds lineup. We just took a look at Billy Hamilton in center field. The shortstop is Zach Cozart. Then you've got Joey Votto at first base, batting third. The cleanup hitter is Adam Duvall. Then Eugenio Suarez is batting in the 5th spot and playing third. Scott Schebler is in right. Jose Peraza at second. Devin Morosco will catch, and Tim Adelman will pitch, and he's going to bat 9th. So here's Cozart. Now the Reds are ending a 9-game homestand, and they've had a good homestand, 6-2 so far. And on the homestand, Cozart has hit .346, 9 hits and 26 at bats. He's at .351 overall. Soft tapper towards second. Castro lets it play him, and it goes through his legs into center field. That'll be an E4.
You said it, Michael. You know, he kind of stood back, didn't know whether to go get the hop. And all of a sudden, the ball kind of played him. Not what you're used to seeing. Came up, ball stayed down. Castro's been really good in the field. Every once in a while, kids, just happens. And you see, he kind of hesitates, doesn't know whether to come in or stay back. Kind of caught right in the middle.
There's Joey Votto. He's been on fire of late, hitting .358 over his last 67 at bats. And Sabathia comes inside. 1-0. Votto crushed a long home run last night off Masahiro Tanaka. That made the game 7-4 Yankees, but the Yankees added 3 more and ran away with it. Votto's 10th home run.
Look at a guy in the major leagues that really has an idea or a plan, what he wants to do every at bat, even broken down to every pitch. You're talking about Joey Votto, and you know, he does not get away from, you know, what he's trying to do every single at bat. CC's always been tough on lefties. This year, 222, 0 extra base hits. All 6 home runs of him have been on righties.
And look what Votto's done against Sabathia. Just 2 for 14, 7 strikeouts in the 14 at bats. The 2-0. There's a strike.
See, that's the new CC Sabathia. 2-0 with a little breaking ball. You remember CC up in Cleveland and in Milwaukee, where, you know, 2-0, he was going to throw it by you. A different type. Learn to adjust to, you know, the velocity that he has now.
Count 3-1 on Votto. Cozart is at first, held there by Chris Carter. On the homestand, imagine the Reds 6-2. He's 9 for 22, 11 walks, so great on base percentage on this homestand. Just a bit high, so Votto walks. CC did not like that call. So that puts runners on first and second for the Reds, 1 man out.
Yeah, right at the top of the strike zone. But you talked about Joey Votto. And his walks there's a reason for it. A little cut fastball up in the strike zone. He just holds up. He just does not go out of the strike zone. Dramatic take there, wasn't it? Kind of hold it.
Take, yes. Could have drawn a picture from that. Here's Duvall. First and second, 1 man out. We're in the bottom of the first inning. Yankees lead 1-0. Now, Sabathia has struggled his last couple of starts, and one of his frustrations has been he cannot get the ball inside on right-handed batters. His cutter has abandoned him over the last couple of games, and Joe Girardi said today he has to have that tonight. Yeah,
you really got to, you know, really get that ball down and in to righties, and you see a lot of these cutters have been up in the strike zone, not where you want them. Better one there, you know, they get real flat up in the zone, which, you know, kind of lights up the hitter's eyes. A good pitch to hit. Great situation for a good cutter. You know, Andy Pettitte, you look back at who has really helped CC over the past year or so, and you know, it's a great pitch to get in on righties to get a ground ball, turn a double play.
Two-0, fouled away. 2-1. I'm talking to Brian Price today. He's not surprised at his team's good start. He said, we've got a good lineup. He said, we can hit with anybody. He said, right now with 60% of our starting rotation out with injury, he said, we're hoping to get 5 innings and a lead out of our starters. He said, because our bullpen could do the job. They seem to be missing that one part of the team, and that's the starting rotation. 2-1. High fly ball, center field and deep. Going back, Ellsbury. He's on the track, and he'll make the play for the second out. Both runners tag and move up. So Duvall drove Ellsbury all the way back, but he had just enough real estate to haul it in.
Well, Well, it kept him in the middle of the field. It's what kept him in the ballpark. Just missed it. It's just cool enough where, you know, the ball is just not jumping like it usually does here. You see, that's just off the end enough to keep it in the ballpark. Tough time of day. It looked like Ellsbury didn't really pick it up off the bat. But good base running, especially by Votto. Tag up from first base.
Here's Suarez, one of the better players you might not know that much about. Outstanding third baseman, hitting .327, 7 homers and 22 ribbies. And there's a strike to Suarez.
Yeah, Suarez again, another guy that's had a great homestand. And if you're CC Sabathia, you have to realize, you know, the first base is open. I'm going to make my best pitches. If not, got a lefty on deck. I'll take my chances there.
The 0-1. Chopped slowly to third. Torreyes fires to first, and Sabathia gets out of trouble. No runs, no hits, 1 error, and 2 men left. At the end of 1, it's 1-0 New York. Aaron Judge leads off in the second. Yankees lead 1-0. And Adelman deals up and away, 1-0. Judge did not play last night. Knees have been sore. Ice packs after each game, so they just gave him a night off. Back in the lineup tonight.
The wall in Boston we were talking about. I mean, and those short fences as a right fielder, you're going over there. They leave a mark, and those are the things throughout the course of the season that you feel, and it stays around for a few days. It's just the bumps and the bruises, and you never really have enough time to let things rest.
Last 9 games, he's been on fire. 412, 6 home runs, and 13 runs batted in.
Kind of pitched around, in, out, up, down. You see 3-2. How he's going to go about it, obviously, if he's going to challenge him. And he went with an off-speed pitch. Good pitch. See that grip kind of turned over a changeup, and it rolls, gets good movement down and in, and also out in front.
Here's Gregorius. Upstairs 1-0. High fly ball, deep right field. Schebler back, turning, looking, see ya. A home run for Gregorius, and the Yankees lead 2-0.
I said it was kind of twilight. Schebler going back on that like he had a chance. I mean, this ball was crushed 20 rows back. And again, another guy off the disabled list that just stepped right back in the lineup. Didi Hurt in the World Baseball Series, and you know, came back, and it's like he's never missed a day. Well, you talk about the Yankee offense, how everything is going. You've got guys that are walking. You got guys for average. You got guys hitting home runs. You add it all up, and you add a lot of runs to the scoreboard.
Carter takes a strike.
Again, ball up in the strike zone, and Didi knows it's gone.
One and one. Yankee offense has been doing it. Fourth in average, second in on base percentage, home runs, runs per game, and walks. That's in the major leagues. Did he go? No, he did not. So the count 2-1.
Chris Carter, 204. You know, he hasn't had a ton of at bats, only one home run. Remember, he was tied for the National League lead last year with 41 home runs, but he also did strike out 206 times, which also led the National League. But they brought him in here as kind of an insurance policy, and then so far they've needed him with, you know, Bird going down. Matt Holliday's filled in over at first a little bit. A couple awkward plays last night. Got Carter in the lineup today.
And the 3-2. Strike three. Ooh. Carter down looking.
What do you think, Michael? A little low.
Take a look.
Oh, I'd say
right
way
at
low.
The knees. Let's see. Kind of hard to take that with two strikes.
I don't know. I'd take that thing and walk to first.
Pitch cast thought it was a strike. Here's Torreyes. Up and away, 1-0. Ground ball, short. Kozar gets Torreyes, and that'll do it here in the second. But another home run for the Yankees. This one off the bat of Gregorius. 2-0 New York. unexpected strikes, the Hartford strikes back with small business insurance. A couple of solo home runs for the New York Yankees, and they lead the Reds 2-0. As we go to the bottom of the second inning, here's Scott Schebler. He will lead off against Sabathia. 1-0.
Another guy, power, 9 home runs. Again, if you look up and down this lineup, not a lot of lefties. CC's been so good against lefties. Away from him there, but you know, if you're CC, you have to look at those as outs. You really got to make your pitches shut down the lefties, because there are going to be a couple righties that you're going to have some issues with.
Here's the 2-0. There's a base hit, left field. Gardner cuts over, gets the ball in. A leadoff single for Schebler.
Schebler hitting against the shift, a full shift. Nobody home at shortstop. All got in on him a little bit. Good swing. See absolutely nobody home. Times as a hitter, you hit a ball and you kind of know the vicinity, the vicinity it's going, and you know, you think, ah, it's right at the shortstop, and you look out there and there's that shift, that big gaping hole. Nice.
Here's Peraza, the second baseman. And a strike from Sabathia. 2-0 Yankees. A home run by Sanchez in the first, by Gregorius in the second. Yankees looking to sweep this mini 2-game set. Reds actually visit New York later on this year on a 2-game set. Line drive, base hit. Gardner fields, stopping at second. Schebler, a base hit for Peraza.
This game so far reminds me a lot of last night, Michael, where Tanaka got in a lot of jams. You see Peraza go out over to the plate and just hammers it in the hole. Tanaka was able to make the really big pitches. Got a couple huge pop-ups and then a double play with bases loaded. See how CC goes about it with men in scoring position.
So here's Mesoraco. The 8th batter in the lineup. The pitcher's up next. First and second, nobody out. Mesoraco had a couple of surgeries last year, torn labrum in his left shoulder and also a cleanup surgery for his hip. So he started this season rehabbing. That's why his number's just 250, 1 home run, 1 run batted in.
Yeah, splitting time with catching. I mean, here's a guy that signed a pretty big contract. He was the guy. He was the catcher. Was showing all kind of promise offensively. We just talked about it, Michael. A couple surgeries. Just kind of set you back.
And in 2015, a 4-year, $28 million deal they committed. And the pitch. 3-0 Sabathia steers into Barksdale. Well, he would have gotten a strike on that one. Now 3-0 as Sabathia working himself into big trouble in the second. Now Barksdale is barking at the Yankee dugout. You could hear him say the ball was outside. And the 3-0. And that's upstairs, and the bases are loaded with Reds. Couple of singles and a walk, and now a meeting at the mound. So you can see the strike ball ratio, not good, 12 and 12 for 24 pitches total. And the Reds have the bases loaded with nobody out. And And here's Tim Adelman. 1 for 6 this year with 1 sack bunt. He has driven in 2. And the pitch. There's a strike. Strike 2. There's the cutter he needs. 0-2.
A lot of times, you know, you have to remind yourself, if you're CC Sabathia, you know, you pitch in the American League and all of a sudden you've got a pitcher up there. You're almost looking for that ground ball. You don't even know if you want the strikeout at this point. Try to get a double play.
Swing and a miss. So Adelman goes down on strikes for the first out. That'll bring up Billy Hamilton.
Best breaking ball CC's thrown all night. This is a true curveball here. See how much bigger the break is.
Hamilton had not hit into a double play all year before last night. He hit into 2 last night. That's the first time in his career he had ever hit into 2 double plays. One of the fastest men on the planet, so it's very tough to double him up.
You don't think you'd get him?
No.
No? Even with a head start?
Have to be a big head start, Paul. Count 1-0.
Out on the Ohio River. Just for knowledge, we're on this side. We got Kentucky over here.
The 1-0. 2-0. Obviously no place to put Hamilton. Has never hit a grand slam but a .400 average with the bases loaded. And that's where they are right now with 1 out. Bottom of the 2nd. Yankees up 2-0. Hamilton calls time. Way inside as Hamilton skips rope. 3-0.
If you're CC right here, you just got to make a couple good pitches and just hope that you can kind of keep the damage under control here. You've got a 2-run lead. You're in a ballpark that I mean, it's an offensive field. There's no doubt about it. You see the offensive numbers that the Reds put up every single year, so you assume that your team is going to score you some runs.
The 3-0. There's a strike. Clip the outside corner. 3-1.
That's why that walk to Mesorasko was so big. You get him, and then you assume you get the pitcher. Now you're trying to pitch out of a 2-out jam. And that walk really complicated things for CC.
Bases loaded. 1 out. Bottom of the 2nd. 3-1 count on Hamilton. And the pitch. Grounded and off the glove of Torres and Gregorius. 1-run scores. Here's the throw from Gardner. Peraza scores and the game is tied at 2. A 2-run single for Hamilton and we are knotted at 2 apiece.
Joe Girardi's looking at the replay to see if Sanchez caught him at the plate. See Robbie Thompson over there. No, he's safe, but kind of a bad break for CC Sabathia. Kept the ball on the ground right off Torres' glove, and it by going back got beyond Didi also. Ends up scoring a couple runs. Ball gets in on him. That ball's right at him. You got a chance just to get an out at home, but it went right off the end of the glove, and then it ricocheted behind Didi, which sent it into left field. There just got by Sanchez. Like he tagged him and he had already stepped on the plate.
So Larry Rothschild, Yankee pitching coach, came out to talk with Sabathia, settle him down. He's given back the lead. It's 2-2 now. Still just 1 out. Runners on 1st and 2nd. here's Zach Cozart. And a strike. Mesoraco, excuse me, leads off second, and Hamilton off first. Line to left field, it is a base hit. Gardner charges, he'll field. Mesoraco will start at third, and the bases are loaded with one out for Joey Votto.
If you watch it, CC, I mean, he has not been able to back up good quality pitches. He'll make one good pitch, and then the next one, you know, he loses his out over the middle of the plate. Reds hitters right now. See, Cozart gets a good pitch. This ball's supposed to break in. It just ends up right down Broadway. Great swing.
So that will bring up the dangerous Joey Votto, a .312 lifetime hitter with a .424 lifetime on base percentage. And he slugs at .538. See his numbers with the bases loaded, .342, 2 grand slams.
Yeah, Joey Votto swung a lot of first pitches last night. So you really got to watch it and try to jump this first pitch.
He did, he fouled it away.
Pitch by CC. A lot of times lefties, you know, you look for the ball out over the plate. You just see it better from a lefty, and that ball that, you know, you kind of two-seamer, you tail in on your hands. Very tough for a lefty to handle that pitch.
The 0-1. There's a strike, 0-2.
We talked about his inability so far to throw, you know, an at-bat quality pitches. There's 2 quality pitches here at an 0-2 count. Now you got to be able to put one of the better hitters in the National League away. Cutter away. You see Joey Votto from the old school choking up a little bit, even more so with 2 strikes. A little better bat control.
1-2. You ever do that, Paul?
You know what? You were always taught in the minor leagues to choke up a little bit with 2 strikes, and you know, it really does not affect the power. You still square one up, you still can drive it. It's just a different feeling. You know, a lot of guys even put their pinky over the end of the bat or the handle, and a lot of times you just don't feel comfortable.
2-2. Grounded up the middle and through for a base hit. 1 run scores. Here comes Hamilton. He'll score. Cozart moves to third. It's a 2-run single for Votto, and it's 4-2 Reds.
I'll tell you what, Joey Votto, I mean, this is his at his best. You see that 2-seamer in, and all of a sudden he went with a cutter in also. Though he's 0-2, he goes with one away, and then he tries to sneak one back in, and Joey Votto just does not give in. Gets that pitch again, just out of the reach of Castro. Drives in 2 more runs.
So for Votto, RBIs number 30 and 31. And here's Adam Duvall. First and third with 1 out. One and 0.
You can see CC just really laboring out there to try to find that consistency with that cutter, which, you know, he's really fallen in love with and been good with.
Another base hit. Cozart will score. Moving to second, Votto. It's an RBI single for Duvall, and it's 5-2 Reds.
Well, we talked in the opening, Michael, both these teams hot offensively, and this is a ballpark that's conducive to giving up a ton of runs, not only with home runs, but just base hits.
Chad Green is up for the Yankees. They called him up before last night's game to give them some depth if a starter doesn't go long. Tanaka last night gave them 7, so they didn't need Green. The bullpen is still pretty fatigued from the 18-inning game on Sunday night at Wrigley Field against the Cubs. Here's Suarez. And a strike.
Yeah, you talked about Green. I mean, he was starting down there, and they called him out of his start, so he has the ability to come in and throw 100 pitches, so he could go a long way.
There's a strike. 0-2 on Suarez. 9th batter to come to the plate for the Reds. 5 runs already in. Runners on first and second, still just 1 out.
If you look at it, CC has not had a great inning, but he also has had 3 balls find holes. Not much you can do as a pitcher. You know, every once in a while you struggle. A lot of times balls are hit hard at people. Not this inning for CC.
One, 2. Just got a piece to stay alive.
It's one of the few changeups that CC's featured tonight, and you see it was just up in the strike zone enough. Suarez could get a piece of it. Ideally, you want that ball kind of tailing away.
One, 2. 2-2. Votto's at second. Duvall is at first. 1 man out. 5-2 Cincinnati. Still 2-2. Schebler started this with a single left, and he is on deck.
I think Sanchez is saying he just needs a break here. He's tried everything. He's tried the changeup. He's tried the curveball, the fastball, the cutter, and he's not able to put him away here. Suarez is a good, solid hitter.
Still 2-2. Suarez grounded to third in the first. He has a 4-game hitting streak, 7 for 18. Schebler is on deck. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. Got him. Big out for Sabathia. 2 away.
Off speed, kind of pounded him in for a couple pitches and got him off. It just finally got that pitch. Backdoor cutter.
Well, with a runner on second now, they do not shift as drastically for Schebler as they did when he opened the inning. So first and second, 2 men out. Lefty against lefty. Strike.
Again, I mean, it's strike 1, but it's up in the strike zone. A pitch that, you know, he's trying to get down and away.
Sounds like a broken back. Ground ball to Carter. He bobbles, regains, steps on the bag, and that will do it. But 5 runs on 6 hits. Red Strand 2. We go to the third. Cincinnati's up. For every game, visit MLB.com/tickets today. Sabathia leads off the third, takes outside at 1-0. Giving up the 5 runs in the second, that drives CC's ERA up to 6.43, which is the 3rd highest in the American League now. Some pretty good names above him. Trevor Bauer of the Indians at 7.36, and Kevin Gausman of the Orioles 6.63. Strike. CC has always fancied himself as a pretty good hitter.
Lifetime over 200. It's 3 home runs.
214, 3 homers, and 15 ribbies. 3-1 on CC. So Adelman's team has picked him up with the 5 runs. And he has a 3-2 count on the opposing pitcher.
Adelman has that little hesitation. You talked about his fastball playing a little harder. Kind of a hold on to it and kind of jump at you as a hitter.
Now, Brian Price said today, and you see what he's done at Great American, CC, 4 for 10, and one of those 3 home runs, that his fastball might be 91, 92. It plays much higher. And Sabathia walks. That's the last thing Adelman wanted to do. What do they mean by that, Paul? Is it the way it's coming out of his hand, or because he changes speeds?
It's because of the deception, and it's because as a hitter, you see that hesitation. You just don't quite pick up the ball, and then you have a lot of the off-speed stuff with it. But you see right there, there's kind of a hesitation, and once you've kind of moved as a hitter, you kind of go through your rhythm, and it kind of sets you off.
So Sabathia on first.
CC doesn't look like your typical base stealer over there as a leadoff hitter, does he?
I'd be shocked if he goes.
Yeah.
Here's Gardner. 1-0. Gardner has an 11-game hitting streak. Fouled out to Suarez to start the game. He is 6 for 20 on this road trip, but if the only hit he had was in the 9th inning against the Cubs on Friday, it'd be a good road trip for him. Gave the Yankees a win. They ended up sweeping the Cubs. The 1-0. 1-1.
Michael, you were up there on the weekend, and I mean, if the people come down yet in Chicago,
no,
from the World, that's all that's on their mind, huh?
Well, they had 108 years to wait, so
that's all.
One. Along with Paul O'Neill, I'm Michael Kay, and you're watching MLB on FS1. Yankees against the Reds from Great American Ballpark here in Cincinnati, a place that Gardner has fond memories of. His only All-Star game. He said he will never, ever forget that. He didn't like that call. He won't forget that either.
Change up right off the outside corner.
Slap the other way foul.
Backed it up. Back-to-back change-ups. See how he kind of turns that over. It's almost got like a screwball action to it, which allows him to pitch lefties in with the hard stuff and then turn that change-up away. Back to the sinker.
1-2. 2-2. Adelman, a native of Staten Island in New York, called up earlier than they were going to with the injury to Brandon Finnegan, so inserted right into the rotation. We mentioned earlier the Reds have 3 of their 5 projected starting pitchers on the DL, which makes their start all the more amazing. Ground ball is short. This could be 2. There's 1. On to first. They get him. A double play. 6-4-3 as Gardner hit the ball hard, perhaps too hard, but the Yankees might challenge.
This looked awful close at first, and we'll get a better look at it here.
It's like they got him. Good call by the first base umpire, the crew chief, Ted Barrett. There's Gary Sanchez. Hit one to the seats in left in the first inning. Yankees are down 5-2. We're in the top of the third inning. Chopped to third. Suarez fields. It's a fair ball. Fires across the diamond and gets Sanchez for the final out. No runs, no hits, no errors. And because of the DP, nobody left on base. And the New York Yankees too, as we go to the bottom of the third inning here at Great American Ballpark. The rain is held off. Sabathia, I would think, has a very short leash here in the third. He'll face the bottom third of the order. Peraza leads off. Pitch outside, just not showing the command that he needs to get people out, falling behind.
They've been way up in the strike zone, went through a ton of pitches, ran straight in, led off walk, ran the bases, right back out on the mound.
Peraza had a single left and scored a run in the 5-run second inning for Cincinnati. Popped up. Castro's there to make the play, one away. Saturday, the only place to see NASCAR is on FS1 as the Monster Energy Series goes to Kansas in the Go Bowling 400. The green flag drops at 7 Eastern only on FS1. Here's Mesoraco, who walked and scored in that second inning. They shift for him, 3 infielders on the left side. And Sabathia deals. Inside, 1-0. In talking to Brian Price today, he said, I told my team in spring training, don't listen to the outside noise. Everybody says we're not going to be a good team. You have to believe that we are going to be a good team. What we believe is the only thing that counts. Ground ball to third to Reyes for the second out. And part of their success, and the thing that he's most proud of, is his offense. 5th in batting average in major leagues, tied for 2nd in extra base hits, 6th in home runs, 3rd in runs per game, and 36th in stolen bases. So they do it all, speed and power. Paul, how difficult is it to shut out the noise that they're not a good team? They won only 68 games last year.
You know what? It's not really the fans, the media. You know, it's really what you believe in the clubhouse. And, you know, there's got to be some kind of leadership of players. But they have not had that culture here in a while to be a winning team. And that's sometimes can be a problem. And, you know, until you go out and show, hey, you know, we can win some games. It's very easy to say, hey, we're going to win games, and truly not believe it.
Adelman with a ground ball to Castro, and CC bounces back with a 1-2-3 inning here in the 3rd. 3 in the books in Cincinnati. The Reds lead the Yanks 5-2. He's 5-2. 1990 was a good year for you, Paul. You grew up in Columbus, Ohio. You made it with the Reds, and you won a championship in 1990.
Yeah, the last championship the Reds have won. And fun year. And then you talked about cutting out the noise. That was one of those years coming into the season that nobody expected us to win. And obviously going into the World Series.
Castro rips one to left field. It's over the head of Duvall, and it goes to the wall as Castro will get himself a double. Now we're going to throw quickly to Chris Myers in LA with a game break. Chris. Back here at Great American Ballpark, we thank Chris. A double for Castro, and Ellsbury's up. Yankees trail 5-2, top of the 4th inning. Now, Paul, you were talking about that 90 team.
I did. I was until Castro hit a bullet off the wall. Then we had to just switch off here. But, you know, that was a year that, you know, you come out of spring training. Not a lot of people expect. We had a decent team. But then you go in, you have a great year. You go into the World Series. You're playing the mighty Oakland A's, who are going to just walk on you. And it's just, it's what the people believe. And all of a sudden, you know, 4 games later, you're world champions. And it doesn't sink in for a while. But it takes a lot. And, you know, that's when the bullpens of baseball, in my mind, changed with Randy Myers, Norm Charlton, Rob Dibble, Billy Hatcher, who had unbelievable numbers.
Yeah, he did sweep the mighty A's. Hatcher 750 Sabo, your buddy, 563. Jose Rio, 2 starts, 2-0, 0.59 ERA. And for the A's, they hit 207. Ricky had a good series, 333, a home run and 2 doubles, but no one thought you guys could sweep that team.
No, and the funny thing, well, not the funny thing, Eric Davis, who was obviously our best player at the time, was injured in Game 4. So, you know, you don't sweep there in Game 4. It's a completely different series coming back out. But, you know, the whole point of the story was, you know, that's just one of those years. And you were talking about the Reds until you believe this and that. Just coming out of spring training, you know, you knew you were a decent team, but do you believe you're going to win a World Series? Until you do it, you know, you really don't.
Count 1-2 still on Ellsbury. Ellsbury with a fly ball to left in the first inning. And that had to be a sweet World Series for you. I mean, you grew up going to Reds games.
Oh, it's, I mean, we talked about it last night. I grew up in Columbus, Ohio. It was like, you know, that was our summer vacation. Driving down to Crosley Field, you know, watching the likes of Pete Rose and Roberto Clemente on the Pirates. I remember watching one day.
1-2. Ellsbury battling.
Shows you how long ago that is, Mike. That's 3 fields ago.
Now you remember this, Paul? Is it like yesterday?
Oh yeah, I should have called Todd Benzinger off. I'd have been there. See, I was out here in right field, just kind of cruising around. Well, that last out, there's nothing like it. There's nothing else to prove.
You had that feeling 5 times in your career. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
4 with the Yankees and 1 with the Reds. 1-2. Just missed with that one. 2-2.
Adamans had a good, I mean, feel. We talked about CC not having that feel, but you see his changeup. He's been able to throw it in and out. He tried to run this one back over the inside corner. Didn't quite catch it.
Three and 2. On deck for the Yankees, Aaron Judge. Yankees are down 5-2. A leadoff double by Castro. And the 3-2. He walked him. So this is a big spot for Aaron Judge as he comes up as the tying run here in the 4th inning. And Judge struck out in the 2nd inning.
Well, walks and base runner. I mean, these are opportunities, obviously. And Aaron Judge put a lot of numbers up on the board in a hurry. You talk about his, I mean, his demeanor. Have you met a nicer kid? Just humble, big, just truly a nice kid. And you love to see kids like this do well. And last year he went through some struggles, but boy, he's really made some good adjustments. And so far this year, it's really paid off.
6'7", 280 pounds. Last year he struck out 44% of his plate appearances. This year, 26%. The 18-point drop is the best in the major league, so he covered up some of the holes. The 0-1. Broken bat, slow roller to short. They get 1 on to first. It's a double play. Moving to third is Castro. So a 6-4-3 double play off the bat of Judge.
Wow, this is the way you want to pitch big guys. They want to get their arms extended. You see this ball gets in, jams him. Pitch by Adam and gets a double play. He just doesn't quite get out, and then all of a sudden, you know, as a big hitter, you know, it's important to get your hands out, get extension. That's where you drive the ball. But when you get tied up like that on a good pitch, not much you can do.
Broken bat looper into right field. That is going to Duncan for a base hit for Didi. Scoring is Castro. It's an RBI single for Gregorius, and now the Reds lead 5-3.
I tell you what, those are big hits. I mean, when you can score those 2-out runs, you know, those are the ones that come back to haunt the pitchers. And again, good pitch, got in on Didi's hands, to stayed through it enough to dunk it into right field. Again,
so much different than the home run in his first at bat.
Yeah.
Here's Chris Carter with Gregorius on first.
The idea there might be a few runs scored here tonight, Michael, huh?
Although it's not warm, the ball's jumping here.
That's what happens when you hit it on the barrel. Broken bats are falling in. Ground balls are going through.
As they say in the business, this is a hitter's ballpark.
Oh, there's no doubt.
Carter fouls it away. Here's the 1-1 to Carter. Again, foul back.
The key to home run hitters, and you look at Carter's stats last year, 41 home runs, 200 and some strikeouts, are a lot of at-bats. And, you know, sooner or later you're going to hit some. And he hasn't had a ton of at-bats this year. Obviously, you know, he's going to strike out, but he needs a lot of at-bats to make up to hit those home runs, and has not been able to get them to this point.
And also, you would think if he doesn't get a lot of at-bats in playing time, it's hard to keep your rhythm as a hitter.
Yeah, and pretty much to my point, I mean, he's had a couple good pitches to hit in this at bat, and you know, you foul him off when everything's not going well and you're not used to playing every day. You don't hit the good pitches.
And that's a key for a guy coming off the bench that's used to playing every day. How do you stay ready? How do you keep your swing? It's work in progress. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Yankees down by 2. Paying a lot of attention to Gregorius. Runner goes. Swung on and missed, and Carter down on strikes. But the Yankees get a run on 2 hits, 1 man left on base. We go to the bottom of the 4th, 5-3 Reds. The New York Yankees 5-3, bottom of the 4th inning. CC Sabathia really struggled in the 2nd, giving up 5 runs. He pitched a 1-2-3 third. Now he deals to Billy Hamilton, who swings and misses. 0-1.
See Gary Sanchez trying to go to another pitch. He let him off with a changeup there to try to find some rhythm, some pitch that he can count on. Another changeup.
Hamilton had a big hit in that second inning, a 2-run single. In the first, he grounded to short, so he's 1 for 2. And the 0-2 pitch. 1-2. Line right at Castro, 1 away. Next on FS1, after all the action on the diamond, the best team of analysts in baseball gets you caught up on a full night of action around the big leagues on MLB Whip Around. Next on FS1, or watch it live on Fox Sports Go.
Well, there's a lot of offense on that screen right there, Michael. Trout, Machado, Harper, Bryant, the stars of today.
If you had to start a team, which one would you start with?
You know what? And my kids have asked me the same thing, and I'd have to go with Manny Machado. I really would. And I'll tell you why. Is because you take the best outfielder, and the difference in the numbers of the most unbelievable Mike Trout outfielder to a good outfielder is, you know, this much. But you take Manny Machado and put him at short or at third, and the difference in his offensive numbers is much greater than a good outfielder to Trout. And that's why I look at it, and he does so many things in the game.
I got Gary Sanchez twice, so the home plate umpire giving him time to shake it off.
Ouch.
And the 0-2.
You agree with me there?
I see what you're saying. Obviously, Trout's WAR is always higher than Machado's, which, you know, would lead to an argument for Trout. High fly ball, center field. Ellsbury drifts back. He's there in front of the track and makes the play for the second out. Now that'll bring up Votto, who had that 2-run single in the second inning. I gave you his career numbers earlier. Check this out, Paul. 312 batting average, 424 on base, 538 slugging. 5 other players have 310, 420, or 530 or better in 5,000 or more plate appearances. Babe Ruth, Lou Gehrig, Rogers Hornsby, Jimmy Fox, and Ted Williams.
Some A-listers there, huh?
So his 424 on base percentage, this is Votto, 10th best all time with a minimum of 5,000 plate appearances. And he's making a case for a Hall of Fame career.
Well, again, it's about his approach. He just doesn't change it. You see a lot of pitchers, or a lot of hitters, change their approach after one pitch and at bat. And if you keep changing, chances are, you know, the pitcher's got you where he wants you. You know, if you stick with what you're trying to do through the entire bat, give yourself much better chance as a hitter.
He idolized Ted Williams growing up as a kid and read all of Williams' books, was just mesmerized by him. But in his big league career, he said the player he learned the most from, Scott Rowland. Told him how to be a big leaguer, how to conduct yourself, how to play the game the right way. And a proud Canadian as well. So Votto is 4th on the Canadian-born player home run list. Larry Walker's first. Matt Stairs, Justin Morneau, Votto, and then Jason Bay.
We talked last night, 3 of those guys. MVP, Morneau, Walker, and Votto.
Votto won in 2010. after finishing second in the Rookie of the Year in 2009 to Giovanni Soto. Three-two. High fly ball left center. Ellsbury's there to make the play. And the Reds go down in order against Sabathia, who has retired 8 in a row. Welcome back to Great American Ballpark. Top of the 5th inning. 5-3 Reds. Ronald Torreyes leads off. And he takes a pitch low, 1-0. So Sabathia seems as if he's settled down. As he is on deck, Yankees don't seem like they have any intention to pinch hit for him. Torreyes grounded to short in the 2nd inning. 5-6-0 for the Reds. 3-4-1 for the Yankees.
I was watching CC come off the mound, and he was talking to Barksdale behind the plate a little bit. You know, he's a veteran pitcher saying, you know, I need these pitches. I do remember one pitch that it, you know, very close to Votto. He didn't get it.
There's a strike.
Just saying, you know, I need these pitches. You know, I'm struggling out here. I need some of these close pitches.
Two and two. Yankees have won 6 in a row. Reds have won 5 of 6. The 2-2. 3-2. An important batter in the National League. If he can get on, then Sabathia can bunt. And strike 3. Torreyes down looking. Now we go back to Chris Myers with a game break. Chris. Thank you, Chris. CC Sabathia steps up with 1 out. And he'll take a strike. Torreyes did not like this call.
Yeah, again, a couple low strikes have been called tonight, and the pitch before that borderline off his toe right there.
So he's saying that he swung and the swing supersedes the hit by pitch. So CC will have to get back in the box down 0-2. Joe's saying, well, why didn't you check with the third base umpire? How'd you call it yourself? That's his complaint right here.
Let's check this out. That's probably a swing, but you know, as a hitter, you're just the last thing on your mind. You feel like you checked, then you feel all of a sudden your big toe starts throbbing. It's time to go to first base.
Adelman deals the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Sabathia down on strikes.
That was it right there, James. James, our statistician, we were talking about it. A Yankee pitcher, so CC has 3 home runs, right?
Right.
Has not hit a home run. So obviously CC didn't hit any of his home runs with the Yankees since the DH, which was it, 1972?
1973.
A New York Yankee pitcher has not hit a home run. And a nice little breaking ball to hit there, James. Didn't quite catch up to it.
Here's Brett Gardner. He's 0 for 2. And a strike.
Adelman's gone to the breaking ball this inning, and it's funny. CC went to the changeup last inning. Now Adelman goes to the breaking ball away from the changeup. What you need to do one of these days, Michael. Get out on one of those river boats.
The 2 of us together?
Yeah.
All right.
Tom Sawyer down there.
Push bunt. Going to be a tough play. Good bunt and a base hit for Gardner. So that extends his hitting streak to 12 straight.
This is what you want to see, Brett Gardner. I mean, he's kind of learning on the job. He's always been a good enough hitter where he didn't have to do this, but at the major league level, with his speed, you know, it's another thing he can do. But every time that you don't do it well, you think, what would have happened if I'd have swung the bat? But these are the ones that they can continue to work on it.
And that's going to bring a trip to the mound from Mac Jenkins. So with that bunt, a 12-game hitting streak. Mike Trout has the longest in baseball at 17. Colton Wong of the Cardinals 13. And then Brett has just broken a tie with Xander Bogart of the Red Sox.
You remember last night, he was on the verge of losing it, and he hit an absolute bomb about 20 rows up in right field. And tonight he breaks it again with a drag bunt.
There's a pitch count for Adelman, 78 pitches. By the way, we want to give the last Yankee pitcher that hit the home run was Lindy McDaniel on September 28, 1972 against Mickey Lolich.
Really?
And that's the 6th to last game before the DH. Here's Gary Sanchez. He's hit some home runs. And there's a strike. Sanchez with a long home run in the first inning, grounded to third in the third. We're in the 5th. It's 5-3 Reds. Pitch is high. Lorenzen is up in the bullpen for the Reds, and the Reds, as we mentioned, they have a good bullpen. Now, Paul, you know what Lindy McDaniel is famous for in Yankee history other than hitting
the last home run? No.
He was traded for your former manager, Lou Piniella.
Lou Piniella.
To the Kansas City Royals, and Piniella came to the Yankees. That was in the winter of 1973.
Ouch.
And I believe that got Mesoraco. It did. 2-2. Sanchez knows that feeling.
This is catcher to catcher, and you see you're fooled out front, so your extension on the backside's a little long, tangled up with his mask. Two
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. One man on. Yankees down by 2, top of the 5th. Runner goes. Swing and a miss. And he gets hit again as Sanchez down on strikes. In the 5th, no runs a hit, no errors, and 1 man left. After 4.5, halfway through, Reds up by 2. We had a long conversation with the manager, Brian Price. Price shook his hand. And that means you are done. So the Reds will then go to the bullpen.
But yeah, that's not usually a good inning. It's like, good night, we'll see you.
Duvall takes up and away from Sabathia as we start at the bottom of the 5th. Cincinnati 5, the New York Yankees 3.
Michael, we talked in the pregame a little bit about it. I mean, this is Price's ideal situation where he can get through the 5 innings with the lead. He's very happy with his bullpen. The bullpen's been pretty successful so far this year.
Two and one. Duvall's 1 for 2. Had an RBI single in the 2nd inning. Ground ball is short. Gregorius. 1 away. MLB on FS1 is sponsored by Alien Covenant. In theaters May 19th, rated R. And by Falcon Tires, the official tire of Major League Baseball. Here's Eugenio Suarez, who is 0 for 2 with a ground ball to 3rd and a strikeout. Castro plays him up the middle. And a ground ball to Gregorius. 2 away.
Yeah, a lot of times when you look at catchers, who get hit, they don't show a lot of emotion because a lot of times there's their fault. Watch Mezzarossi. I mean, as he goes forward, that's why he gets hit that 2nd time. A lot of times catchers, if they reach for the ball, they'll get catcher's interference. So the same thing as you go forward, you're getting closer to that batter. That's why you saw no emotion whatsoever. He just walked away. Not that you want it to happen. But a lot of times as a catcher, your natural reaction is to go reach for the ball or go forward. Cause that backswing to hit you.
Schebler fouls off the first pitch. Count 0-1. Nice catch in the stands. And that hits Schebler, so he will take first.
Again, CC, a lot of his success against lefties is being able to throw that two-seam fastball in. And tonight, you see that ball kind of boring in, just cannot control that inner half. Just catches a couple buttons there. Michael, as you were going through a read here, I looked up, I think I saw the moon.
And then it went away.
And then it's gone.
Yep.
You know, the moon and the sun, I think, have not lived in the Midwest the last couple of weeks.
Runner goes. Throw to second, goes into center field. But Schebler will stay put with the stolen base. Told you this Reds team will run.
Again, Sanchez just back. I mean, but if you look at his release point here, he's so good, so quick with his feet, but just does not get a good grip, and the ball just sails.
Fly ball, fairly deep left, going back Gardner, and he runs it down for the final out. No runs, no hits, no errors, and one man left on base. 5 in the books. Reds 5, Yankees 3. All forms of baseball and softball participation, making play opportunities available and fun for everyone. To learn more, go to playball.org. Well, Tim Adelman's night is done, and now they turn to Michael Lorenzen. Adelman went 5 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs, 2 walks, and 6 strikeouts. The 14th game for Lorenzen. 4.15 ERA. Opponents hit .215 against him. Lorenzen's a ground ball pitcher, and he'll face 3, 4, 5 in the Yankee order. Castro, Ellsbury, and Judge. And a strike to Castro, who doubled over the head of Duvall in left field in the 4th inning. Later came around to score. Chopped to first. Votto takes it himself, one away. Lorenzen has a 62.6% ground ball rate since last year. That's the 8th highest of all pitchers with 50 or more innings pitched. When you have a ground ball pitcher like that, Paul, do you try to lift the ball or you just try to hit the ball hard?
Well, you're trying to hit the ball hard, but I mean, you can look at his arm angle and you know what's going to happen. You've got a lot of movement into righties, a good sinker to lefties. And it's just the movement of the ball as a hitter. You think you're on it and you just catch the top half, beat it in the ground.
Pitch to Ellsbury's upstairs, 1-0. Ellsbury is 0 for 1 with a walk. Reds lead the Yankees 5-3.
That's not your average sinker. That's 97 right there. I would say that was a four-seamer, kind of took off, but wow.
Well, Brian Price said this is the formula why they are 17-15. You just get a decent outing out of the starters and hopefully turn over lead to a bullpen that he feels very comfortable with. And he said there's a lot of interchangeable parts in that bullpen. Ground ball is short. 2 outs. Price made the point of saying, he said, there aren't guys in the bullpen that are just lounging around and not expecting to be called on in the 4th or 5th inning. He said a guy could pitch the 8th or the 4th, and they know they all better start stretching in the 2nd.
Got a lot out of Brian Price. He must have had a long meeting, huh?
Very long. Here's Aaron Judge. A couple of hours.
Wow.
Helped him make out the lineup. Pitch inside.
Rick Stowe, Mark Stowe probably cooked you lunch down there. You probably had it all going.
Two-0 on Judge. Judge 0 for 2. Strikeout, and he wrapped into a double play. We're in the 6th, 5-3 Cincinnati. So 3-0. Let's see if Girardi will turn Judge loose on 3-0. On deck is Gregorius.
What you like about Lorenzen, I mean, he's out there, he hits the sign, and it's on its way. There's not much thought process behind it, and it's just, you know, this is what I got, this is who I am as a pitcher, and there's not a lot of stalling going on.
Well, here's Gregorius, a long home run in the 2nd, a solo shot, then a broken bat blooper into right field to drive in a run in the 4th. Hurt his shoulder in the WBC. Started the season on the DL. Torreyes did very well filling in, but has hit well since coming off the DL. Missed 5 in a row. 1-0. Now you look up at a deficit for the Yankees, and that really does not unnerve this team. This team feels very comfortable going into late innings down. Rather not, but if they do, they feel they can come back. They know they've come back, and they were trailing the Orioles 9-1 in a game that they ended up winning. Two and one. And I guess, Paul, the more you do it, the more you believe you could do it again.
Absolutely. I mean, you want to get in situations where you're accustomed to winning, obviously, and this is their formula.
Lined into center field. It is a base hit. Gregorius is 3 for 3. Judge will stop at 2nd.
You can see the Yankee offense, and last year, you know, we talked about it, Michael. We did a lot of games where you could try to figure out how this team could score runs, and this year it's almost totally backward. It's like, how can they not score runs? Everybody 1 through 9 are able to swing the bat.
Well, here's Chris Carter. He's glad that Adelman's out of the game. 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts against Adelman. First and second, 2 men out here in the 6th. There's a strike. 96 miles an hour.
You look at stuff, and Lorenzen, great stuff, but probably a better matchup for Carter because, you know, Adelman really messed with him with the changeups, with the curveball, getting ahead in the count.
0-2.
This is where Carter has trouble. I mean, this is where they start to, you know, throw stuff outside the strike zone. And, you know, he's very susceptible to that strikeout with 2 strikes.
Judge off second, Gregorius off first. And the 0-2 off the glove of Mesoraco, and the runners will move up. Scored a wild pitch. Now with the speed at second, you don't have to hit the ball over the wall. A single ties the game.
Yeah, this ball just takes off. Mesoraco not able to handle it. A lot of people don't realize, you know, you lose that ball with that mask because you don't see well above. The catcher's mitt not very forgiving when you don't hit the middle of it.
1-2. 2-2.
Again, you see the 2-seam action, but boy, just up and in. Hard time controlling it against Carter.
And that hits Carter, and that will load the bases. Well, Yankees are used to this. Last night, 3 batters got hit in 1 inning. And Joe Girardi said, I know it wasn't on purpose. He said, but you do have to be careful. Yesterday it was Drew Story.
Yeah, and there were 3 pitches. I mean, there was no right out of his hand. The hitters were. I talked to Chase Headley today, and it's just like there was no way out of it. He just overthrew some pitches.
Pitching coach Mac Jenkins comes out and talks with Lorenzen. Well, that'll bring up Torreyes with the bases loaded. Sabathia due up after that, but the Yankees have Matt Holliday on deck to pinch hit for Sabathia. Torreyes, a notorious first ball hitter.
Boy, all of a sudden here you 2 outs, nobody on, and the next thing you know, you're a base hit away from tying this game up from the Yankees.
Swings at the first pitch and grounds it foul. Torreyes is the Yankees' super utility guy. Can play second, short, third. Today's at third. He could also play the outfield in a pinch, and he's their emergency catcher behind Gary Sanchez and Austin Romine.
And he's a free swinger, obviously. You've seen a walk and a hit by pitch. He came out of the on-deck circle swinging at that first pitch.
Chopped to short. Cozart goes to second. They get the force, and that will do it. No runs a hit, no errors, and the bases are left loaded. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. It's 5-3 Cincinnati. red machine.
A lot of history in this town. First professional team, 1869. Wow.
We start at the bottom of the 6th. Mesoraco takes outside from Sabathia. 1-0. Reds lead 5-3. Yankees had an opportunity at the top of the 6th inning. Coming into today, Sabathia first or second, big numbers in active pitcher ranks. That one's popped up, and that makes the roof of the Reds dugout.
Yeah, you're right, Michael. Grew up in the 70s with the big red machine. That's back when you would run out to get the box scores out of the newspaper and see what the team did. Now everything is immediate. You know what everybody did that night. Kind of miss reading those box scores. You grew up that way too.
Absolutely,
right?
But now we have the Fox Sports app.
Absolutely. Get it quick, right?
A little quicker than the newspaper. Grounded to short, Gregorius. And there's one away. Big red machine.
Wow.
Championship in 75 and 76 against the Yankees. Take it over, Paul. You knew these guys.
Joe Morgan saw him at the ballpark. George Foster, that was their big bopper. Johnny Bench. Sparky Anderson said he was the best position player at what he did that ever played the game. Saw Pete Rose here last night.
In 75, they won 108 games, and they beat the Red Sox in 7. 76, they won 102 games, and they swept the Yankees in the World Series. Bench and Munson had unbelievable series. Now, Lorenzen is not your basic pitcher as a hitter. On April 6th this year, game-winning pinch hit home run against the Phillies. First pinch hit home run by a pitcher in Major League Baseball since Micah Owings in 2009, also with the Reds then. He has 2 career home runs. His first one was an emotional one for him. First game back since his father had died. That was on August 19th of last year. So Sabathia has to be careful with Lorenzen.
That's a pretty good swing. That's one of these kids that grew up being a baseball player. He probably played all the positions, a shortstop, pitcher. He's a good hitter.
You know he's a pretty good hitter, Paul, because he went down to one knee. A lot of pitchers don't do that. That's Reggie Jackson stuff.
Just in case you tie him up with it.
Chop to third. Torreyes waits back for the hop. And a nice scoop by Carter, but Lorenzen beat it out. And he's an athlete.
Torreyes decided to wait back. Ball down in the dirt a little bit. Safe at first.
Or is he?
Probably not.
Well, they're going to challenge. The only question, did the ball roll up the glove? And it doesn't seem as if it did.
I'll tell you what, Carter made a good play here. That wasn't in the dirt. That wasn't a short hop. Yeah, he's out.
So the Yankees will challenge. We'll see if this is overturned. First base umpire John Tumpain. Ball hits the glove before the foot came down. So Tumpain will go over with the crew chief Ted Barrett, who's at second. And they will look at it back in the studios in New York City in an area of Manhattan called Chelsea.
Good old Chelsea. You've been down there a few times, haven't you?
Very hip area, Paul. I'm surprised you
are doing it. Tribeca, they're doing all kinds of stuff there.
Yeah.
Right?
I always wonder how you could look at the replay and get it in like a half a second and why it's taken this long.
They don't trust us anymore up here, Mike.
Let's see. They have overturned it. He's out. And that play was all Carter.
Oh, yeah. If you watch Carter's eyes, every once in a while, you're pretty fortunate as a player. I mean, that ball was not a short hop in the dirt. It went off the grass. Watch his eyes kind of come up. That ball just finds the glove.
There's Billy Hamilton. 0-1. Hit sharply and past Torres and into left field. Gardner fields. Hamilton's going for 2. The throw is in time. He got him. He gets the speedy Hamilton trying to get a double. Gardner got to the ball quickly and fired a strike. The tag applied by Castro. Tire is the official tire of Major League Baseball.
Wow, great play by Brett Gardner. But if you watch what happens, Billy Hamilton probably is safe if he keeps his hands straight out. He kind of pulls them back. Watch his hands go back. Gives Castro an opportunity to tag him before he gets to the base. That's what happens when you're going that fast, Michael. The flaps get down. You can't keep them extended.
CC liked the play. And you have to be impressed when Billy Hamilton is thrown out at any base. Aaron Hicks will pinch hit for CC Sabathia, who gave the Yankees 6 innings after struggling so much in the second. Hicks takes a strike. Hicks is 1 plate appearance shy of qualifying coming into today. He'd be the leading hitter in the American League with a .462 on base percentage. His last 4 games hitting .476, scoring 7 runs. Chopped to first. Votto will get Hicks 1 away. Now Hicks is part of a Yankee outfield that's done some job over the first 30 games. The Yankee outfielders have a 5.9 WAR, which is wins above replacement. The second place team, the Nationals, 3.0. So the Yankees almost double the second place team.
A lot of production in the outfielder. Joe Girardi, you know, it's a fun problem to have, but you got 4 guys that are doing everything for you, and you really can't DH one of them because Matt Holliday's been there doing well. So you got to figure Brett Gardner, Ellsbury, every time a lefty pitches, one of them's going to be out. You're going to keep Judge in there. You want him in there. And Hicks is going to play against all the lefties, being a switch hitter.
Low to Gardner, 2-0. Well, the Yankees want to extend their winning streak. They're going to have to come from behind, and they have 9 come from behind wins this year. Their record of 21-9, the best record they've had after 30 games since 2003, and that was the year they went to the World Series.
Talk about that outfield gem. I mean, Gardner last 9 games coming into the games hit 375 with 6 home runs. So first 18 games, no home runs. So he's been hot.
And Gardner works a walk. Dylan Betances, you saw, up in the bullpen. So with Gardner at first, that brings up Sanchez as the tying run in a 5-3 Reds lead. Sanchez with a long home run in the first inning, then grounded to third and struck out. Finished second in the Rookie of the Year voting last year despite playing just 2 months. That's how incredible the 2 months were at the end of the season. What happened in those 2 months for the Yankees? They traded away Beltran, Chapman, Miller. They restocked their farm system where it's now rated either the best or the second best in all of baseball. And Gary Sanchez got a chance to show what he's about. The Reds 5 runs in the second inning when they sent 10 batters to the plate, still holding up. Yankees with a run in the first, a run in the second, a run in the fourth. There's a strike.
Brett Gardner, his career steals. He doesn't run as much as he did in his early days, but you know, this is one time you've got Sanchez, you got Castro on deck in a home run ballpark that a lot of times, you know, as a base stealer, you got to be patient. You got to give these guys a chance to swing the bat, tie this thing up with one swing.
Well, does Lorenzen have some life on his pitches?
It certainly does, and a lot of times those ground balls are just because, you know, it's beating the bat. The guys aren't getting out extended. It's not even the sink on it at times. It's just kind of overpowering people.
One-two. Blocked by Mesoraco.
And you haven't seen a lot of breaking balls, but right here. Good job by Mesoraco to keep that ball in front of him.
And the pitch. Grounded foul.
Sanchez got a good pitch there. That ball right there had a little movement, but it was all horizontal. Just kind of a pitch that a hitter loves. Watch this. It's a good swing. Ball kind of tailing into him, but a great pitch to hit.
Really nice play. And a red jacket.
Oh, the bare hand like it was nothing. Because he was a Buckeye fan. Did you see that, Mike? Buckeyes down the side of the.
Paul, I got good news.
Yeah.
Your moon is back.
Better hurry up, take a picture.
1 day away from a full moon. Just 1 day, just a sliver, not a full moon. Gardner leads off first. And the 2-2. That one gets past Mesoraco. He doesn't know where it is. And Gardner moves to second on the wild pitch.
Yeah, another breaking ball. Has not been able to locate this, but Sanchez almost offered of it. Got his glove caught the wrong way. Hard to keep it in front of you. Kind of with a backhand there. Kind of ricochets away. Replays, it looks like you have so much time. I mean, that is so quick. It has to happen.
3-2. Swing and a miss. That gets away from Mesoraco. And there's 2 out.
Went to that 3-2 breaking ball and again bounced it. Gary Sanchez, I think a dead fastball. Brett Gardner gets a good read. Nothing he could do.
And another trip to the mound. They have a tough hitter coming up in Starlin Castro. Castro 1 for 3. He's hitting .357. 2 hard throwers in the bullpen, Iglesias and Peralta. Peralta's the only lefty in the bullpen. And they have Ellsbury up next after Castro. So Castro 1 for 3, doubled over the head of Duvall in the 4th, came around to score on a broken bat single to right field by Gregorius. Hamilton in very shallow center field. Castro has power, 6 home runs. Time is called. Paul, wouldn't you say that's too shallow in center?
Well, that's almost daring somebody. And Andrew Jones used to do that a lot in Atlanta, almost daring somebody, showing how fast you are to hit a ball over your head. It's a 2-run game. You're late in the game. You're playing nothing over your head. No doubles. Billy Hamilton knows this ballpark and he knows his speed.
Fly ball, right field. Going back, Shevler still back, and he'll make the play right in front of the warning track for the final out of the 7th. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 man left. Time for the stretch in Cincinnati. 5-3 Reds. Bryant and the Chicago Cubs do battle with the St. Louis Cardinals in one of baseball's biggest rivalries. Coverage begins at 3 Eastern on FS1. Well, the Reds have won 5 championships in their history: 1919, 1940, 1975, 1976, and 1990. Dellin Betances on. Starts the bottom of the 7th inning and deals outside to Kozar. A couple of Red fans smiling. Their team's up 5-3. Betances with a filthy arsenal of fastballs and curveballs. And it's hard to see which one is more deadly.
You know, to me, the nights that he'll come in and throw 10, 12 pitches and 3 strikeouts is the night that he has his great curveball. Just too hard to pick up from a guy his size. You have to look fastball when the guy's throwing 100.
So Kozar walks, and we will throw to Chris Myers with a game break. Chris. Thank you, Chris. A big hello to Nick Swisher for us. Dontrell Willis as well. Bottom of the 7th inning, 5-3. Reds over the Yanks. Pitch inside to Joey Votto. Hit stays in the game in left field as Joe Girardi with a double switch. So Dellin Betances will bat in the leadoff spot vacated by Brett Gardner. Now, we told you the Reds will run, and you can run on Dellin.
Oh, yeah. I mean, anytime you get a power pitcher, you know, usually slow, gives you an opportunity to get a jump. A lot of times you steal on the pitcher and not the catcher. I'm saying a good matchup there. The Nationals in Baltimore, as good as the Yankees have been when they come in a half a game up for Baltimore. Baltimore after a great start.
6 pitches from Betances, all out of the strike zone. Orioles just got bad news again today. Zach Britton's going to be out at least 2 more months. (3-0), so 7 in a row out of the zone. Dellin pitched in that 18-inning marathon at Wrigley Field. He had yesterday off.
Larry Rothschild, this is supposed to be the easy innings when you get to Chapman and Betances.
Eight in a row. So Kozar walks, Votto walks. First and second, nobody out. And a trip to the mound.
The first trip in Cincinnati. Larry spent some time here as a pitching coach. The Reds.
We mentioned the Reds are a team in transition. That's why their good start is a bit surprising. They won 68 games last year, and they've gotten rid of their big players. Jay Bruce, Chapman, Cueto, Frazier, Matt Latos, Mike Leake, Brandon Phillips, Alfredo Simon, and some people expect Kozar, who's in the last year of his contract, that he will be traded at some point this year as well.
As a Rocco, possibly. So, you know, there's a couple guys still out there that can help.
And Brian Price said that 2015 and 16 beyond painful.
Oh, yeah.
So the conference is over, and here's Duvall. Swing and a miss. That was a ball as well. 0-1.
There's Dellen's breaking ball, and you're right, Michael, just off the outside corner. But you know, every time you see something where the game has changed a little bit, you know, it's like, wow, a couple walks, you get a swing, you know, first pitch.
Now, wouldn't the other school of thought be, well, he has to throw a strike, so I might as well hack?
Well, you know, in Betances, you don't want to get to this point, and that's 2 strikes. But, you know, if a guy's going to dig a hole, you got to let him dig it. Teddy Power out there in the middle. Teddy had a long career back with the Reds. To the Castellinis yesterday, and boy, they were glad to have him back in the organization.
Castellini's the owners of the Reds. And the 0-2. Missed upstairs. 1-2. Reds 5, Yankees 3. We're in the bottom of the 7th inning. Reds have runners on first and second, nobody out, as Dellin Betances has come on in relief of CC Sabathia. One-two, swing and a miss, got it. 100 miles an hour, got it by Duvall, 1 away.
You see a couple breaking balls early in the count, and it's in the back of your mind. And 100-mile-an-hour fastballs, Sanchez's glove. I tell you, this is the problem with Betances. He can get himself in trouble, and then he can strike 3 people out to get right out of it.
Here's Suarez. Cozart's at second. Votto was at first. Breaking ball as Suarez was moving back, and it whispers across the inside corner, 0-1.
You see that reaction from a righty. I mean, that ball out of his hand looks like it's right at you. A lot of times your mind's not going to click in and say, I'm going to wait and see where it is. You just bail.
Sanchez wants to talk with Betances. Yankees obviously want to keep it right here. They have a 2-run hole that to dig out of. So Suarez at the plate, and Schebler is in the on-deck circle. Foul back to the screen, 0-2.
That's about the best pitch you're going to get from Betances right there. A little hanging breaking ball, a good swing. See, not a lot of bite on this one. Up in the strike zone. Suarez, too good a hitter to hang one, but just missed that one.
The 0-2 swung on and missed. 2 away.
There's a difference of a good curveball and a bad curveball. The one before you saw fouled back, and then he threw his best. Completely different swing. And watch the break on this. Just a completely different pitch. Different swing.
Now to bring up Schebler. Singleton scored in the 5-run second, grounded to first to end that second inning, and then was hit by a pitch and stole a base. Breaking ball strike, 0-1.
See, Betances, when he gets in trouble, I think he trusts that breaking ball more than he does his fastball. He'll use that fastball late in the count to try to get the strikeout. But boy, he really trusts that curveball. There's a good 100-mile-an-hour fastball in the outside corner. And again, ball four, and now he's on the brink of striking out 3 in a row to get out of it.
9 out of his last 10 pitches have been strikes after walking the first 2. Schebler is good with runners in scoring position. Strike 3. He strikes out 3 in a row to get out of a problem. No runs, no hits, no errors. 2 men left. We go to the 8th. 5-3 Reds. Is sponsored by the Lincoln Continental and by Falcon Tires, the official tire of Major League Baseball. An impressive showing after walking the first 2 batters by Dellin Betances. Yankees are down 5-3 as we start the 8th inning.
Michael, when you look back at that inning and when it started, all right, you've got 8 straight balls, ball 4, and then you've got a swing and a miss on a pitch off the plate, and then Betances found his release point, and boom, boom, you get 3 strikeouts in a row.
Now get a look at another hard throwing right-hander. This kid can pitch, usually closes games for the Reds, but as we said earlier, Price said people are interchangeable, so this will be the 12th game. 19 strikeouts in 16 1/3 innings, 5 for 5 in save opportunities. Kivlahan moves into right. So Ellsbury will lead off against Iglesias.
That doesn't mean much to you, does it, Mike? When you look out at that pitcher and you see the long pants and the white shoes, and all I can think about is coming through the Reds organization in the minor leagues, we had to wear the wool stockings, the stirrups, and you had to show so much of it or you were fined. And this was Bob Housen's rules, and we all had black shoes. And that's how far it's come. More of the Joey Votto style. You know, it was cool to pull the stirrups up, not those wool stirrups. You couldn't pull those up.
Grounded to first. Votto beats Ellsbury to the bag. Let's see if you actually followed the rules, Paul.
See that? I had the stirrups up.
They're a little low there.
Well, we started we started to push the limits a little bit.
But you got Van Slyke really crushed that one.
Wow, that's the old Riverfront Stadium. When your highlights are in the old stadium, then the stadium's not even around anymore.
You're lucky they're not in black and white, Paul.
It looks like one of the edited versions that they just added color to it.
Judge fouls it back, count 1-1.
Well, they've done a good job with Judge tonight, keeping the ball away and then getting out by jamming him in.
Iglesias, a hard pitcher to square up. He has a 14.3% hard hit rate, 5th lowest amongst all pitchers. Wow. Broken bat, looper into right field. It is a base hit in front of Kivlahan. So Judge picks up a broken bat single.
Died a hero, though. I tell you what. You see the arm angle there. He dropped down through sidearm. Ball boring in on him, and you know, on a cold night, if you don't square it up pretty good, you can do this. When you're this strong, still knock it into right field for a hit.
So Judge has been on twice. That single and a walk in the 6th inning. And here's Didi.
Joey Votto over there, kind of peeking over his shoulder, like, wow, this dude is big.
Check swing. Now Votto's not a small guy, but Judge is 6'7". Now Judge has tried to steal some bases, and he kind of got talked to by Matt Holliday. Holliday said, "Big guy, don't be stealing bases. Every time you slide, it's like a car crash. We don't need that. We need you to hit home runs. So lay off stealing bases."
You played baseball because you didn't want to be a defensive end. Don't go sliding into second base.
And Holliday and Judge have really formed a very unique bond. Judge follows him around, listens to every word he says, and Holliday said he's one of the greatest athletes I've ever been around.
Yeah.
1-1, 2-1. Two and two.
Iglesias would definitely be one of those guys you kind of classify as a hitters. They sling the ball. You know, it's not over the top. It's not completely sidearm, but you get a lot of life. It's like the finish on it just gets a lot of movement. Just kind of snaps it.
So the count 3-2 on Gregorius. Gregorius is 3 for 3. A couple of singles and a home run, has 2 runs batted in. Judge leads off first. Carter's on deck. And the pitch. High fly ball, center field. Hamilton is there for the second out.
And you see Didi's reaction. The best pitch he had, they hit the hole at bat. He just got under it a little bit. Pitch you saw over the middle of the plate. Little two-seamer kind of running back. Right off the end of the bat. Just under it. It's amazing as a hitter, your reaction immediately. You know you had a good pitch to hit, and you just missed it.
Here's Chris Carter. 0 for 2, couple of strikeouts, was hit by a pitch. So Iglesias is the 3rd pitcher used by Brian Price. Adelman started 1-5. Lorenzen came on, pitched 2. And now Iglesias. Chad Green's up for the Yankees, who's up in the second inning.
Got to be loose by now.
You would think. 1-1. Temperatures dropped just a little bit as we are in the 8th inning now. Well, the rain has held off here in Cincinnati. Chopped to third. Suarez fields, sets and fires and gets Carter for the final out of the 8th. No runs, a hit, no errors, and 1 man left. Go to the bottom of the 8th. Reds 5, Yankees 3. Yankees 5-3 in the bottom of the 8th inning. That's Paul O'Neill on Michael Kay. We kind of gave you the blueprint that the Reds follow, Paul. They say get a lead early and then turn it over to the bullpen. So far, so good.
Yeah, their bullpen you can see strong. Guys come in, high velocity guys, and you know the Yankees had a couple opportunities, but they have not been able to cash in. It's still a close game though. Get 3 more outs.
And CC had a rough second inning to straighten himself out.
Yeah, he certainly did. I mean, he could have just blown up and been out of this game, but you know he got through it, and he kept them to a point where they could still get back into this game. That's where we are now.
Chad Green on for the Yankees. Matt Holliday takes over at first base for Carter. Fouled off by Peraza. These are the numbers in Scranton. 5 starts, 2-1, 4.73. 33 strikeouts in 26 and 2/3 innings. He was in the battle in spring training for one of the starting spots that happened to be open in the Yankee rotation. Missed out to Luis Severino, who has done a very, very good job. 2-2. Swing and a miss. 95-mile-an-hour fastball. Peraza goes down. If you want to look ahead to the 9th inning for the Yankees, it'll be Torreyes, Hicks, and because of the double switch, you've got Holliday batting third. Fly ball into center field. A nice running play by Ellsbury. He dropped the ball, and Mesoraco will reach. Ellsbury got there but dropped the ball.
Yeah, I'm with you, Michael. I thought he made the play. So juggled it coming down. Jump on the ball. Kept it to the side. Just didn't quite get down deep enough into that pocket.
See, in the NFL, that would have counted. Brown can't cause a fumble. And there's a strike to Kidwan. Got Holder and Warren in the Yankee pen. Mesoraco gets a base hit. Green had 12 games with the Yankees, 8 starts last year, pitched to a 4.73 ERA. Had 52 strikeouts in 45 2/3 innings pitched. Right back to Green. He goes to second one. That's all they'll get. Score at 1-4 as Castro took the throw.
Like a little miscommunication at second base. Usually you're telling the pitcher who's covering, and you've got both probably moving towards the play. An easier play for Didi to go across the bag. Castro not able to get the ball out of his glove.
There's Billy Hamilton. Runner on first base, 2 outs now. From the left-handed side, Hamilton, 3.61. The major league average is 4.62. So he can fly. That's why what happened the last time up, so impressive. He got thrown out trying to stretch a single into a double by Brett Gardner.
Everybody in the world knows what he wants to accomplish when he gets on the base, and that's to steal bases. So it makes it much harder. Pitchers hold you closer. Catchers are calling fastballs. You know, Hamilton 19 out of 21 stolen base attempts this year.
Green got called up after the 18-inning marathon at Wrigley Field because everyone but Tommy Lane was used, and they were used for a lot of pitches and a lot of innings. So they wanted to have Green up here just in case they needed a long man. Chasen Shreve got the win in that game, and he's up right now. 3-0 now on Hamilton. And the pitch. Strike.
Yeah, it is. His approach to hitting, I mean, if you really watch him from the side, it's so important. If you watch his left hand, you don't want any kind of loop. And you'll see that. See how he loops at the ball? You want him to stay on top of the ball where he can keep the ball on the ground to the left side of the infield. And so that's something he's been working on. But that's something that's going to allow him to use his speed. Anytime you see that left hand kind of loop under the ball, he's going to hit fly balls. And that's not what Billy Hamilton wants.
Runner was going on 3-1, but was fouled off. So now he'll be going again. 3-2 and 2 outs.
See, this is a 3-1 pitch where you should be aggressive on top of the ball and just watch that ball. See that ball? Those hands come under the ball. This makes all the difference in the world. I mean, you want that if you're Aaron Judge, because you want to, you know, get that ball in the air. But Hamilton, different type of hitter, different type of swing.
Runner goes 3-2. Swing and a miss. Got him. And that'll do it in the 8th. No runs a hit, no errors, and 1 man left. Can the Yankees rally in the 9th? The Reds lead 5-3. Game sponsored by the Hartford.
Back in the 2nd inning, Joey Votto, 2 out, 2-run single, drives in his 30th and 31st RBI, made it 4-2. The Reds have never looked back at this point.
There's Joey Votto at first base. Chase Headley pinch hitting for Torreyes takes a first pitch ball from Iglesias. There's a strike. So they're trying to get a 2-out save out of Iglesias. Of his 5 saves, Iglesias has 3 saves of more than 1 inning. And that's tied with the Dodgers' Kenley Jansen for the most in Major League Baseball. 2-2. This does not seem like a pleasant at bat for a guy coming off the bench.
He really slowed his wind up there with a changeup, but still, I mean, you're looking all 96, 97. That was 87. Not enough time coming off the bench to really have any kind of rhythm whatsoever.
Fly ball, left field, Duvall back, and he'll make the play. 1 away. Next on FS1, after all the action on the diamond, the best team of analysts in baseball get you caught up on a full night of action around the big leagues on MLB Whip Around. Next on FS1, or watch it live on Fox Sports Go. So Headley, on his 33rd birthday, hits a fly ball as a pinch hitter for the first out. Here's Aaron Hicks. Pitch is low to Hicks. Hicks wants to get on. That would bring Holiday up as a tying run. One and one. The producer of tonight's game, Bill Bowen. The director is John Moore. The associate director is Matt Sigafus. And the broadcast associate is Lauren White. 1-1. The technical director is Brian Filippetti. And our tech manager is Tom Lynch. Big thanks to our statistician, James Smythe, and our stage manager is Audrey Whitley. Great job by everybody. The 2-1. 2-2.
Iglesias changing speeds much more this inning than he did in the 8th. So the change up. Just kind of slings it, turns it over. It's a good movement down.
And the 2-2. 3-2. Hicks pinch hit in the 7th inning, grounded out to Votto, so he's 0 for 1. And he walked him. So the Yankees have their shot, and that's really all you can ask for. You want your shot in the 9th inning, and now Holiday comes up as a tying run.
Well, it's been some kind of road trip. I mean, they've got their shot. They've got a shot to sweep a road trip, starting in Chicago, winning 3 there, and then winning here last night. Day off tomorrow, and then a tough series with Houston coming into Yankee Stadium.
So here's Holiday, his first at bat of the night. Crowd of 22,038 at Great American Ballpark in Cincy. 1-0. After the 4 games in San Francisco, then the Reds go to play the Cubs at Wrigley, and Brian Price said, "We believe we could play with anybody in our division." He said the Cubs certainly did not get any worse after winning a World Championship, but we feel good about playing them. The Yankees have the 4 games at home against the Astros, then they go on the road again.
It's funny when you start playing through the season, you get off to a decent, and you really start to feel yourself as where you are as a team when you start playing the teams in your division. And you know, the Reds had a good one against the Pirates. Came in here, they've had a good homestand, but you know, to go out on the road and to play Chicago and some of the teams that you're going to have to beat, be a real indication of how this team is going to do.
3-0 on Holiday. All right, Paul, let's manage. Do you give him the green light or not?
You know, I don't. I mean, he's a pinch hitter, but he's a veteran hitter, so you know, you can tell him to hit, and he might take anyway. So I'm trying to get Gary Sanchez up there, who's been in the game rhythm-wise.
3-0. There's a strike. 3-1.
It looks like he was taken all the way. And again, I never understand why the 3-0 pitch seems like the strike zone's a little bit bigger.
Seems like it goes from 17 inches to 19.
Yeah.
3-1. He walked him. So 2 straight walks by Iglesias. And now the tying runs are on base, and Gary Sanchez comes up.
You see Suarez running in. You can see the frustration on Iglesias. He just all of a sudden has kind of lost command with everything. And I talked earlier in the inning where he started to use his breaking ball and his changeup a little bit more. And now he's getting back to where he needs that good fastball, and he's kind of lost in his release point.
So Sanchez in the first inning connected for his first home run since coming off the DL. Just under 450 feet. So he has 2 on the year, and he digs in now with the tying run at first base. Aaron Hicks is at second. Yankees are down 5-3, top of the 9th inning. And Mesoraco wants to talk with Iglesias, and again Suarez comes in to join them. So Suarez doing the translating. And former Red Aroldis Chapman getting loose just in case there's a bottom of the 9th inning. Missed outside, 1-0. He has lost the strike zone. Raisel Iglesias, 5 for 5 in saves, trying for a 2-inning save. 1-1.
There's one thought right here, and that's all. He's looking inside of the plate right here. Ball's away. You see everything's kind of opening up. Just looking for that one pitch to drive. I mean, you could do that early in the count. You kind of broaden things now and just try to protect.
Hit sharply and grabbed by Suarez. They go to second for the game-ending double play. So Sanchez hit it on the screws, but Suarez right there starts a 5-4 game-ending double play.
Well, bad luck. Gary Sanchez hits it hard. It just happens to be at Suarez, who catches it before it hits. Easy double play. Game over.
Well, the Yankees have their 6-game winning streak snapped, and Sanchez hit about as hard as he could hit it. And Iglesias gives thanks for the game-ending double play. Well, that'll do it from here in Cincinnati. The final score, Reds 5, Yankees 3. For Paul O'Neill, I'm Michael Kay. Now let's get it out to MLB Whip Around with Chris Myers, Dontrell Willis, and Nick Swisher. Good game here in Cincinnati. Now back to the guys out in California. Guys?